Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, September the 20th, and this is the Futures in 5. This is Anne Marie. We're looking at some squeeze plays because SPY is at an all time high, and we've got the YM particularly expanding. We're looking at a lot of things here, so let's take a quick peek at what we see. The one thing I want you to notice is this divergent action here. This line, as price action moves up and this line begins to flatten and hold steady, it tells us that there's some negative pressure sitting on both sides, so you don't need to chase the breakouts there. That being said, the breakouts will rise into the next line of resistance, particularly if we've got a short squeeze on the horizon. And we are seeing quite a few of those in the market here lately. So watch that. We have limited bounce because of this flat action. We will reverse off the edges, so you don't need to trade and chase. Just watch for the pullbacks. 29.14 is a number that I've mentioned several times. We were below it, faded, held that 2907 area that I was talking about. It lost and then recaptured the zone. And now we're above that region. So we have old resistance becoming new support. Fairly simplistic in that space. It tells us we have a breakout that is resistance. That means that it's going to bounce and then come back and either hold or collapse. So our trade events are support to resistance, resistance to support. This is not a trending environment in my mind. Taking a look at the NQ, we've got some price compression. If we take a look at the formation here and then this formation here, we see that we're sitting inside of the prior week's motion. And so we've either got a recovery zone where these are big double bottom events, or we've got a price compression event that's going to send us lower. What do we need to look at? This area right around here. I talked about it in a tweet. I said, hey, listen, you want to watch 75.70 to 75.74 as a region of potential resistance up in the space. We are going to see some sellers try to initiate price action there. Again, we've got momentum that is damp. And so when we have that damp kind of momentum, we know that our charts are likely to give back some of their upside pressure. Pre-market motion does have a tendency to retrace. You want to watch, look for those Globex lows, Globex highs, look at the halfway point and see how well they hold. That's one of my favorite little tricks to do in terms of simplistic motion to see where strength is. This is the one that's the beast. Take a look at this. This is the YM. Look at this low volume pocket. To me, this is a pure evidence of squeeze action where people think that this is going to be a rejection zone, and indeed it comes into the space and there's still so much pressure to the upside that it runs right through the edge and then creates new price acceptance. This is what we are looking at. My thought at the time, when I drew this chart, would be that we would come into 26,585 and then we would begin to reverse. Currently, we are sitting at 26,585 and not doing much of anything. Pullbacks should still be buy zones because we've got new price acceptance here at around 26,482. You want to watch for that very carefully. We've got this grinding upside motion, so all of our pullbacks, particularly at the first pass, going to run into buyers. You want to be super careful trading support to resistance, resistance to support. Taking a look at oil, a lot of people thinking that the news in oil is relatively bearish, and then all of a sudden we're seeing this bullish action. To me, this is much better seen on a very wide time frame, and it tells us that we are building price acceptance in a big picture in these regions. So what should we do? See this low pocket right here? We should come right back into it, hold the zone, and then move forward. That could be 70, it could be 69.73, it could be 70.50. All that to say, we have upside pressure, so the pullbacks, though they might be deep, are going to run into support. This does not seem like any kind of trending collapse point, but the main anchors are down here. So the probability of bounce becomes much higher as we drift lower into these spaces. Price rejection should give us the first best bounce here, so I am looking for actually a double top myself. The last thing, of course, our fifth future in the space is gold, and this continues to be a mosh pit. Really support to resistance, resistance to support. Where is this chart going? A lot of folks expecting a breakout, but we continue to reject this region around 12.12, right? We can see the high of the prior week space coming into this 12.12, and we've spent time sitting outside of the range of last week, but still in a very tight pocket of motion. This area continues to be support. This area continues to be resistance, and it's going to sit that way until it isn't. That's the futures in 5. Good luck trading today. I'll see you tomorrow.